Viewer discretion is advised.
Prepare to see some irresponsible speed. Leave it to Bachman. There we go. That automobile rail fan was just my Acela hitting the floor and smashing. This thing has been doomed from the day I bought it. It's pretty incredible. Well, it looks like the Lionel ones have stalled out again. Well, the Ram will get them. Boom. Oh boy, that's not good. Okay, I had to cut power to the unit just there. This is definitely not good. Yeah, that motor was evidently in much worse shape than I had ever expected. This is just ridiculous. Like, look at it. I'd hate to open this up right now. Oh, the shell barely holds on anyway. Oof. So you're probably looking at this segment of track and being like, Scrumptious, why do you have apples all over the track? Well, it's all to do with a big disaster that happened today, and I'll explain exactly how that happened. So, it was the end of the day, no more school, and I was thinking of things to do, and I decided, wouldn't it be nice to go work on the layout? So, you know, this part of the layout really needed some work, and recently I got some grass, so I put some grass down, and then I was like, gee, the track doesn't look really good, so why don't I ballast it? So I made my special tape and ballast type track, and I laid it all the way down here, and I was so impressed with it, except with this spot. And this is where, you know, it meets the road, and I thought that looks kind of weird. So we had some drywall plaster laying around, and I thought, why don't I make myself a little level crossing? It would look kind of nice. I've never made a professional one. So I got some plaster and I watered it down a bit and sculpted it and turned it into this and made little spots for the flanges, and I was very happy with it. And then I was, you know, I had literally just finished this, and I looked over at the Ace Supermarket, and I was like, gee, the parking lot looks kind of mediocre. If you guys don't know, basically I just painted the parking lot onto the actual Homaso, and that looked really bad because it was uneven. So I thought, I've already got all the materials and, you know, tools I need to, you know, sculpt the plaster. Why don't, you know, I make a parking lot here? So I put more plaster in my container. I watered it down a lot because I thought, I want this to flood. It's not like this where I want to sculpt it. I just want it to kind of flood into place, and I'll just kind of mold it and shape it. So I watered down my plaster. I put it down and I sculpted it, and I got it perfect. It was exactly the way I wanted it. So I was just sitting there in my chair, satisfied with what I had done, thinking this all looks pretty good. And then that's where disaster struck. So right here on this side, something changed. I don't know if the plaster started setting and the water started coming up, but it started flooding into the grass I had literally just put down. So then I started panicking, being like, okay, my work is being ruined right in front of me. I need to do something about this. So I quickly grabbed a sanding sponge like off my table, boop, right there, and then I put this on it for weight, and it's like, okay, crisis averted. And then it started happening on the other side with the grass there. So I quickly went and got some paper towels, and I put another measuring tape on top of that. So it's like, okay, this is all under control. And then I noticed that it was actually leaking under both of these. So then I was like, okay, I need to do something about this because there's a lot more plaster in there. This problem is going to wind up, flooding both these grass areas, and it's going to ruin them. So I need to do something about this. So I thought really quickly what I could do, and the conclusion I came to is that I needed to dry these areas off as quick as I possibly could, and the quickest way to do that, I thought, was to use a hairdryer. So I ran upstairs and grabbed my mom's hairdryer, ran back down here, plugged it in, put the heat on maximum, and then I pointed it and turned the air on low. That hairdryer had a little more kick than I thought, and when it hit this, my perfectly laid parking lot splattered all over the road, and I was kind of so shocked that I went like this, and I had a house right here. So then the air fired this way, causing the grass to fly everywhere, causing these trees to fall and shoot apples all at my building there. And then the grass that hit the house kind of reflected off of it and went right into the village. So you can see the whole village is full of this crap, and it looks ridiculous. So, and then I kind of walked away in defeat thinking, whatever happens here can't be worse than what I've already done. And if I keep trying to fix this, I'm just going to end up with the whole layout trashed. So I walked away, and evidently, I guess it just... the moisture started to evaporate and it stopped leaking at the sides. But what a disaster. I have not lifted these off yet. I don't know how far it actually got. Presumably not too far. Yeah, you can see it there. So when this started flooding, it was just in this corner, and it was just a little bit. You can see it got all the way out here. And on this side, oh man, you can see it did a little more damage, unfortunately. So I'm not really sure what to do about this. I'm somehow going to have to clean this up, hide the evidence. Hopefully this will set eventually, and I can actually turn it into a proper parking lot. I've determined that I'm just going to have to, I think, redo the road, because you can see as it turned out, the water actually stained the road too. So yeah, a lot of mistakes on my part. As for the trees, I have no idea. That's going to be so hard to clean up. There are so many of these dang little apples all over the layout, and it looks ridiculous. And the downtown, I'm gonna have to, I guess, take up all the buildings in figures, and I guess just vacuum it on very low pressure and get that cleaned up. But I guess in model railroading, we win some, we lose some, and today was just a series of unfortunate events. But I'm sure somebody out there got a lot of entertainment out of this. And maybe someday in the future I'll look at this and think it was a funny disaster, but at the moment, it's a bit kind of frustrating. Than before. I've got a better feeling about this one. Issue Wade. Oh, hey, Becky Wade. Run the Super Chief with the coaches. Okay, we can run that. But we're gonna, first of all, see if we can get this lot working. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, yeah, now we're... That's the New Year's train. Oh, here we go. This is the money shot. Oh, that's very close to those trees. Okay, I think it's time to really amp up the speed here. Oh, no! Nick, when did you say the next car is?
Probably another 20 minutes.